So today we're going to learn how to plot points, or how to find the slope from two sets of points. We've already learned how to find it from a graph and how to find it from a table, but in math we're all about being efficient. So I want you to notice I've already plotted these 2 points on our graph. We have 7, 2, which is this point right here, and we have 10, negative 7, which is this point right here. And if we were going to find this on a table, we would just connect these 2 dots. We know that the slope is negative because it's going down from left to right. I would connect these 2 dots with a straight line, and I would measure. I would count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1, 2, 3. And we know slope is rise over run. So this would be negative 9 over 3, which is negative 3. But there's got to be a more efficient way. So I want you to notice something. Essentially, what we are doing is finding the difference in the vertical position, which is our y-coordinate, and the difference in our horizontal position, which is our x-coordinate, between our 2 sets of coordinates. So we're finding the difference between the y's and the difference between the x's. And when we talk about difference in math, we're talking about subtraction. So watch what happens. What if I subtracted my 2 y values and I subtracted my 2 x values? What would I get? So I'm going to just relabel this xy, xy. And I'm going to say, what is 2 minus negative 7? And then 7 minus 10. 2 minus negative 7. Keep, change, opposite. That's 9. 7 minus 10. That's negative 3. And 9 divided by negative 3 equals negative 3. And look, these 2 match. So in order to find slope, if we're just giving 2 sets of points, we're going to find the difference. Let's do a few more examples. All right, so let's look at this next example. I have negative 9, 2 and negative 8, 2. Those are my 2 points, and I am going to plot them. So negative 9, 2, and that would be here. So I'm going to get rid of this extra point that I had because I didn't want this one. Okay. And negative 8, 2. That would be here. And if I connect these 2 points in a straight line, it's flat. And what do we know about lines that are flat? They have a slope of 0. Well, let's see. What I'm doing is finding the difference between my horizontal values and my vertical values. So I have a horizontal value of 1, but I have a vertical value of 0. Remember, slope is y over x, rise over run. So let's see if this works. What is the difference between negative 9, negative 8, 2, and 2? So 2 minus 2 and negative 9 minus negative 8. Well, that's 0 over negative 1. And 0 divided by negative 1 equals 0. Let's try one more example with the graph before we look at it without the graph. So we have 5, 9, so let's plot those points. So we have 5, 9, so 5, 9, 5, 9, so that would be here on the graph. And then we have 9, negative 5, and that would be down here. And so we're going to connect. So we have the vertical distance and we have the horizontal distance. Okay, our vertical distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in our horizontal distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we know it's negative. So we have negative 14 over 4, which is negative 7/2. Now, let's see if this rings true when we do x and y. So remember, it's the distance or difference between our y values and the distance and difference between our x values. So I'm going to label xy, xy. We're going to do 9 minus negative 5 over 5 minus 9. And let's see what we get. 9 minus negative 5, that is negative 14. 5 minus 9, that's negative, or 9 minus negative 5, that's positive 14. Sorry about that, guys. 5 minus 9 is negative 4. And if I simplify this, I get negative 7/2. So we're going to do 3 more examples, but we're not going to use the graph. What is the slope between these two sets of points? First, label them xy, xy. Remember, we're finding the difference between our y values, or the change in our y values, compared to the change in our x values. So I'm going to write 6 minus 2 divided by negative 1 minus negative 5. 6 minus 2 is 4. Negative 1 minus negative 5 is also 4. And 4 divided by 4 equals 1. Let's try another one. This time, I'm going to write it down, and I want you to try to solve it before you listen to the answer. So our points are going to be negative 1, comma, negative 5, and negative 2, negative 4. Take a moment to see if you can find the slope. So remember, x, y, x, y. Now it doesn't matter if I do negative 5 minus negative 4 or negative 4 minus negative 5. What matters though is that if I pick this y value first, that I also pick this x value first, because these are a pair. If I pick this y value first, I pick this x value first, because these are a pair. So I'm going to say negative 5 minus negative 4 and negative 1 minus negative 2. Negative 5 minus negative 4, that is negative 1. And negative 1 minus negative 2, that is positive 1. And negative 1 divided by positive 1 is negative 1. So if you answered negative 1, you are correct. Let's look at one last example. So we're going to do 4, negative 2, and negative 1, negative 4. So 4, negative 2, negative 1, negative 4. Take a moment, find the slope. Remember, slope is x, y, x, y, the change in y compared to the change in x. So I'm going to say negative 4 minus negative 2, and I'm going to say negative 1 minus 4. Negative 4 minus negative 2, that's negative 2. Negative 1 minus 4, that's negative 5. And remember, 2 negatives make a positive, so the slope is 2/5.